I'm Mark and I'm passionate about English, and here is your next mini lesson. Just before we start, I was watching the final of The Voice on Saturday. Well, actually I watched it on Sunday because I recorded it. I think The Voice is in many other countries. It's a very good program, and it's the sort of thing you could, if you watch the British version, you could hear a lot of the idioms, phrasal verbs and so on that I'm teaching you, and you'd say, I remember that, and again it'll slowly sink in better if you hear the idiom, phrasal verb, collocation more times. But one thing I wanted to say is one of the judges in The Voice in Britain, or in the UK I should say, because it includes Northern Ireland, the competition. Should I just quickly explain? Many people think England is Britain, but Britain, or Great Britain, and Great Britain actually has nothing to do with being great and fantastic. It's great in this case means big, because it comes from what the French called Britain, which was Grande Bretagne, which means big Britain. So anyway, that's why it's called Great Britain. But let me very quickly give you a geography lesson. Great Britain is Scotland, England and Wales. There are capital cities. Scotland, it's Edinburgh. Wales, it's Cardiff, and of course England, it's London. But if you also include Northern Ireland, okay, not what's called Ireland or Eyre, E-I-R-E, or sometimes even Southern Ireland, it's a long, complicated history, but anyway, there's a part of Ireland which is called Northern Ireland, obviously in the north. So the United Kingdom is Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, but Great Britain is just the three, Scotland, England, Wales. So my passport actually says the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, one of the judges in The Voice UK is will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas, and he often says that was dope, or that's dope, or you were dope. Now dope used to mean, and still does, is someone stupid. You could say you're a dope, you're an idiot, you're stupid. And dope can also mean cannabis, but it's become it started to mean that's great, that was dope, that was fantastic, that was great. Because often words change their meaning in English, and new words come in also. And some of these, of course, are kind of slang, but then after a while, the slang just becomes normal English. And that's another thing I'll be teaching you in my courses starting in September, is some slang. So we've got collocations, phrasal verbs, idioms, slang. I'll be looking at pronunciation, doing interviews and looking at how people use English naturally. Also looking at TV, movies. You could watch these things on YouTube, and then I will help you understand, and then you can watch the thing again, and it'll be much easier. I'll be looking at songs. I'll be giving you tips on how to learn English, and loads of different things in each weekly lesson, which will be about 3 hours. Okay, let's crack on and pick the idiom for today. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, do you remember when I did a headstand a few mini lessons ago? I said it's like banging my head against a brick wall. That's something that's just too difficult. This is very similar. I've come up against a brick wall. Okay, a brick wall is obviously a wall which is made of bricks. Walls aren't always made of bricks, but a brick wall obviously is. So the idiom means, so a wall obviously is something in your way, and maybe you can't get over it or around it or whatever. So it's an obstacle. So the way we use this is when you've come up against something that's in your way, that's difficult, it's an obstacle. So let's say me playing bass guitar. Now, many bass guitarists don't read music, but maybe I want to play bass classically or in an orchestra, for example, and I really need to be able to read music. So I could say, I've come up against a brick wall. So because I can't read music, there's a big obstacle in my way. So I would have to learn music to get around or over that obstacle, over that brick wall. Of course, it's not really a brick wall. It just means an obstacle or something in your way which prevents you from doing something. You could also say, for example, maybe a job you want to go, or the type of job you want to get in your country needs you to be able to speak and understand English very well. And if you don't, then you've actually come up against a brick wall. It's an obstacle in your way, which you then need to do something about if you want to. So that would obviously mean to improve your English, to be able to get that type of job. Okay, I hope that's clear. Collocation time, and the collocation for today. There's only a few left. I'll do some more for July. Okay. This is. I haven't done a phrasal verb. I do apologise. Okay, there we go. So, very useful. Again, I think it's one of those ones which you may not have learnt or come across in school or in a textbook or something. But it's liven up. So, liven up means to become more exciting, to become more alive. So the best way often is to give an example. So let's say I go to a party with my girlfriend, but there's not many people there, and people are just sitting around. It's a bit boring. So I could say to her, I hope the party livens up soon. It means I hope things change. I hope it becomes more like a party. Just try and think of another example quickly. Liven up, liven up, liven up. Oh yes, okay. Let's say my mother, for example. Let's say I've been a bit unhappy and I'm not really doing much with my life. She could say, you need to cheer up, or you need to liven up, become more alive. Cheer up, become more happier. Liven up, become more alive, more energy. So there's another example of the phrasal verb. And the collocation, which I had already picked out by mistake, is to plead ignorance. Okay, I think this one is quite difficult, but you don't need to worry so much about plead, but learn it as almost, it's two words, but kind of learn it as one word or a unit. So to plead ignorance is when you've done something, maybe, and you say, oh no, it wasn't me, no, I didn't do that. I don't know if you remember the song by Shaggy some time ago, it wasn't me. But he was pleading ignorance and saying, no, it wasn't me. Or let's say the police stop me and I was driving a little bit too fast, and he stops me and I say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize I was driving so fast. Or something, I was worried about something and I didn't see what speed I was doing. So you kind of plead. Plead is like please, please, please. So you plead ignorance. You trying to really say, I didn't know, please, please don't give me a speeding ticket in that case. Okay, I would recommend you check that one up in the dictionary or on the internet just to be sure about that. Sometimes it's very easy for me to give an explanation or an example, but I sometimes have a feeling that maybe you didn't get that completely. So check it out. Okay, now let's get you a joke. Okay. Okay, so I've shown you this book before. It's called Man Walks into a Bar. And many, many jokes in English begin with this, man walks into a bar. Or another one I told you was doctor, doctor. But this one is about changing a light bulb. Now, a light bulb is the thing you either clip in or screw in to the socket. And then obviously then it's got a connection. Okay, so there are many, well you'll get the idea. I'll give you 2 or 3. Oh, how many Irish people does it take to change a light bulb? 257. 1 to hold it and 256 to turn the room. Okay, now I'm sorry for any Irish people watching this, but British people often joke about Irish people not being so clever. So obviously it's not difficult to change a light bulb, but because the Irish, how can I say this without offending any Irish? Well, it's just a friendly, I'm sure the Irish joke about another nationality. So they're saying that, of course, it's so easy, just one person do this, but the Irish don't realise that, so they actually turn, one person holds the bulb and the other 256 people turn the room. Okay. Let's have another one. Oh dear. Oh, this is a cut. Well, should I tell you this one? Yeah, go on then. How many men does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1. Men will screw anything. Okay. I did say I'm not going to do any naughty words in the mini lessons, but screw is another kind of word to have sex. So if men will screw anything, it means they don't care so much who the person is or what. So because we're using it with a light bulb, men will screw anything. So they're always able to screw something. Okay. And okay, how many witches does it take to change a light bulb? The reply, into what? Okay, so to change a light bulb, yeah, witches I think we had from that joke that where the guy woke up and realised that she actually did look like an old witch. She hadn't dressed up at the fancy dress party as a witch. But witches often have, wizards have a wand. If you think about Harry Potter with the stupefy and what else did he say? I can't remember now. But yeah, so when a witch does this, and maybe the man becomes a frog or something like that. So it sounds like how many witches does it take to change a light bulb? So the answer would be 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But because it's a witch with a wand, say into what? So a light bulb into a frog, into a house, and so on. Okay, I think that'll do for today with the jokes. But just to give you an idea of British humour and try and explain. And when I'm explaining, that's also good for your listening practice. Okay, that's today's mini lesson. Bass riff coming up for you very soon. Bye for now. Okay, bass riff for today, and you don't need to give the person who wrote this, or you can if you like. It's actually a national anthem, but the reason I've chosen the national anthem is nothing to do with the country. It's because Jimi Hendrix did a fantastic live version of this a long time ago at a festival. I think it was the Isle of Wight festival in Britain. And unfortunately, Jimi Hendrix is no longer with us. Is no longer with us is another way to say he died. But if you don't know, he was one of the most famous guitarists, but his life was cut short. It means he died quite young. Okay, see if I can get this right. I'm actually going to be reading something a little bit just to see if I can make sure. I haven't really practiced this one for a long time. Okay, let's just check. Here we go. Okay, I hope that wasn't too loud on your iPad, your laptop, your iPhone, or whatever you listen to these on. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Check out passionateaboutenglish.com. Like, comment, share on Facebook, and have a nice day. Okay, bye for now.